You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly.
Okay, welcome to the Village of Wappingers Falls monthly regular meeting of the Mayor and the Board of Trustees for today, April 8th, 2020. So I would just want to read something from our council, making the record. I have confirmed with the town's council, that the village's council, that tonight's meeting has been convened in accordance with Governor's Cuomo's March 13th, 2020 Executive Order 202.1, which suspends certain provisions of the Open Meetings Law to allow a municipal board to convene a meeting via video conferencing. In accordance with the executive order, the public has been provided with the ability to view tonight's work session meeting, and a transcript will be provided at a later date. We will do a roll call of the board members, and there should be a quorum present tonight for this meeting. I've also confirmed with the village clerk that this meeting has been duly noticed. We have fulfilled our legal notice requirements by posting notice on the village's bulletin boards, faxing to the library and news organizations, posting notice on the village homepage of its website, and listing on the village Facebook page. So, John Carge, would you do the roll call?
Mayor Alexander.
Here.
Trustee Markajon.
Here.
Trustee Davis.
Present.
Trustee Komornick.
Here.
Trustee Huber.
Present.
Trustee Witten.
Here.
Trustee Panessa.
Here.
Village Attorney Wallace.
Here.
Okay, so we have everyone on the board is present, and I would like to first off ask if we could get a motion to accept the March 11th and March 25th, April 1st, 2020 Village Board Meeting minutes. So that's a March 11th and April 1st Village Board Meeting minutes. We'd like a motion to accept them.
I'll make it.
So we have a motion by Trustee Davis, second. Seconded by Trustee Komornick. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? You know, because we're doing these video meetings, I'm going to ask, I'm going to do a roll call vote each time. So Trustee Davis,
Aye.
Trustee Komornick,
Aye.
Trustee Huber,
Aye.
Trustee Markajon,
Aye.
Trustee Witten,
Aye.
Trustee Panessa. Mary, can you hear me? Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can now, yes.
Okay.
So did you say aye?
Yes.
Okay. All right, very good. Could I get a motion to authorize to pay bills as per approved warrants from the Finance Committee?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Trustee Panessa, second.
Second.
Second by Trustee Huber. Trustee Davis,
Aye.
Trustee Komornick,
Aye.
Trustee Huber,
Aye.
Trustee Markajon,
Aye.
Trustee Witten,
Aye.
Trustee Panessa.
Aye.
Okay, the first item on the agenda is we have received the paperwork from our bond counsel to put out for the approval for the bond funds for the purchase of a new fire truck for $700,000 approved at the March 11th, 2020 board meeting. Is there any discussion? Any questions? If there's no questions.
I would offer, Mayor, is everything looks to be in order under the local finance law. Everything went out to bond counsel. He approved and sent a proposed resolution, which is in your packet. And the vote tonight would require supermajority in order for us to proceed.
Okay. Okay, could we get a motion to approve the bond resolution?
I just have one question. What happens if they happen to go over the bond amount? Because I know that, car 2 keeps on saying that it may come in over than what we requested. So
They
what
can't-
happens when it does?
So they have to bring, after this does not approve anyone to purchase. What tonight does is approve the village to borrow. So
Okay.
this motion is not to approve a purchase, which they must do before they can purchase anything. Do you guys in Johnson hear me?
Yes, but
Oh.
I talked to him the other day and he says, we gotta sign that contract that I guess he gave to Craig and the mayor by May 1st.
Yes.
That will lock the price in.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to sign it until May 9th. So somebody should talk to them.
Yeah, I mean, due to COVID-19, I think that they're
Yeah, I
going
think-
to have to understand the circumstances of what's going on here and how all municipalities are hamstrung right now with virtual board meetings and what we can do.
I couldn't agree more.
I can talk to him.
So they should bring something to us. We will put that, tell Johnson that we will put that agreement up we have a meeting May 8th, right?
Yes.
That's the next village board meeting itself, public meeting or
Yes.
regular board meeting.
Is that the 8th?
No, we have one on the 29th, don't we?
No, but I need it to be, so the next board meeting is May 13th.
Oh,
So on May 13th, we'll sign that agreement.
Okay,
All
I'll
right.
let him know. I'll let him know.
Okay.
If that company doesn't want to sell us the truck with the current situation the way it is, I suggest we go shopping somewhere else.
I'll let him know.
Okay.
I'll talk to him tomorrow.
So this isn't about purchasing, this is about borrowing. So tonight's resolution would be that we would pass a resolution approving this bond resolution to borrow $700,000 for the purchase of a fire truck.
I'll make the motion. Second.
And did I get a second?
Second.
Seconded by Trustee Panessa. Trustee Davis,
Aye.
Trustee Komornick,
Aye.
Trustee Huber,
Aye.
Trustee Markojon,
Aye.
Trustee Witten,
Aye.
Trustee Panessa. Unmute yourself.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, so that passed. And the next item on the agenda, I would like to ask the attorney to talk to us about the injunctive relief that we would like to file for the property on South Remsen.
all right. I think I did send an email earlier to all board members regarding a proposed legislation, and I think that this would be better suited to be tabled into executive session since it involves a potential investigation. So, if the board wants to table this and discussion in executive session, I would suggest that that's probably more appropriate forum.
Okay, so we'll ask to go into executive later tonight.
Make a motion, we table it for executive session.
Okay, second.
Second.
Seconded by Trustee Panessa. All those in favor, Trustee Davis,
Aye.
Trustee Komornick,
Aye.
Trustee Huber,
Aye.
Trustee Markojon,
Aye.
Trustee Witten,
Aye.
Trustee Panessa.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so the next item on tonight's agenda is we did have a tentative budget with the clerk on March 20th, but I am going to share it tonight with the board and the public. And so just let me know. Is that being shared?
Is now
Okay, good.
starting to.
Okay, is it up for everybody?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, so everyone can see it?
Yep.
Okay, so the budget that we've prepared, which is a tentative budget, which is one that we will discuss all through the month of April. We'll discuss it through the month of April because due to COVID-19, there has been no change in the timeline for villages to approve their budgets. So we will still try to set our village budget on April 29th, which is the last Wednesday of April. The tentative budget, as we've presented it, shows a 2% increase in the prior year's budget. So the tax levy will be no more than 2%. We've also noted that we expect far less sales tax than in prior years. We're projected to bring in about $195,000 this year, although that projection will fall short because of the drastic changes that have happened with social distancing and the shutdown of many businesses. The tentative budget, therefore, shows a much lower amount for sales tax revenue. It keeps Cablevision, which will be very important during social distancing, and utility tax at the same level. It shows a decrease in the planning and zoning fees. It shows a decrease in the number of fines. So it shows us a lot less revenue than we had in years past. If we go over to the expense portion, right now, this budget does not show many changes. It just keeps the employees at their bargained for salaries. It has a very low contingency amount of $57,500, but the village has been building up its fund balance over the years. It shows the increases necessary for the payroll, bargaining units for the police. It shows already the amounts required for the vehicles, which we've already put into place. For the fire department, we have basically a budget that is almost identical to last year. It has the new turnout gear lease in place. The zoning and planning shows the new hire part-time employee, which started at the beginning of the new year. There haven't been many other changes. The ambulance is the same. The highway is pretty much the same at this time. So parks shows less money for salaries for parks and for recreation, a much lower number for salaries because there, in all probability, will be no summer camp this summer. It shows some money spent on the lake. It still has money in there for future events, but the future of those events is not likely. We did bump up the amounts for the retirement system and the in both units. So the employee retirement system, we show a higher number. We show a higher number in the police and fire retirement system because both of those are very likely to not have yielded the same kinds of returns they have in the past. This tentative budget will be available for you on the website. We did post an increase in the medical insurance. We've updated the bonds and for principal and interest and the bands for principal and interest for what we actually have already set out to pay. So for the water fund, the sewer and water, basically, we have still got our 3% increase, but it is not, we're going to be looking at that, whether or not that's necessary and how much of that will be necessary for this year. The water fund has not finished the work that it has been doing on the new, it still has some more contract work to be done in the year 2020 and 2021. There aren't much changes, though, to the operations and maintenance budget of the regular budget. So it looks like we might have a surplus in this next year coming forward, which is good because we have been borrowing money, but it looks like we're right on track for making the payments. The same thing in the sewer fund. So the sewer fund, there's a 3% increase in the rates. However, we will be assessing what is needed in order to make the sewer fund run the way it's supposed to. And there are no significant changes in the sewer budget either. And lastly is the garbage fund, and there should be no increase in the garbage budget. We did have a cleanup scheduled for this fiscal year, and it looks like because of COVID-19, that will most certainly be in next fiscal year. We will be able to still fund that with the amount that we had set at the higher rate for garbage cleanup. So that is pretty much it for the budgets. Are there any questions? Just remember, this is not the actual budget. This is the tentative budget, and we will be continuing to work on that, especially with the Finance Committee, and then with a couple of public hearings, a couple of meetings that will be broadcast before the April 29th meeting. Are there any questions from the board?
Do you have a schedule when we're going to meet with the department heads and when you're going to have these meetings?
I don't know. So we'll be, I'll first talk to the Finance Committee. So that's Ronnie, Kevin, and yourself, and then we'll figure out what the best schedule is, and we'll move forward after that. Okay.
Mayor, board, I have something to say. I think we should be keeping track separately of all these expenses we incur above and beyond for this COVID business. For example, sanitizing the village hall.
We are, John.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah. So we're definitely we're under a state of emergency, and those are definitely potentially something that we might get refunded through any funding that comes through from the state or the feds. Okay.
How bad is it?
Pardon me?
How expensive has it been?
I think the most devastating impact to the budget hasn't been necessarily to the expenses, it's been to the revenue. And it's also going to be to the ability of our taxpayers to pay the portion of the revenue, which is the largest portion, the tax levy. So everybody's seen what's happened to the great business district that we've built up with all of the great restaurants, and what a terrible situation they are in. Social distancing does not work for small villages that want to build themselves around attracting very good restaurants to come in and do work for them. So many
Yeah.
of those restaurants have switched to curbside pickup business, but I think at this time there's a big question as to what will end up going in those locations, and whether or not these guys will be able to make it, given the undetermined length of time that this social distancing program will take, and what happens after that's over, what it looks like after that's over. It's a good question, though. Are there any other questions about the budget or what's going on?
Yeah, I saw on the water, I saw that the penalties was at like $15,000. What do we know? What totals that number?
What total is it in real life, or what total?
Yeah, what is that? What does that $15,000 consist of?
It's so this is the $15,000 is the actual penalties that have been assessed as of February 29th, 2020. And it looks like we're projecting it to go up to 19,000 or 25. You know, it might realistically be more like 25,000. 25,000 would be pretty much the same number it's been in the past. So if COVID-19 were to really wreak havoc on that penalty number, it might go up to, you know, 30, 40, $50,000. So I think the board might, I have many municipalities around the area and are looking at waiving penalty and interest fees for some of the bills that they have outstanding. So we'll have to take a look at that later to see what we might do. Any other questions? Okay, if there's no other questions, moving down the budget, we have been talking to our new treasurer, who up until this point has been the second treasurer, but what we would like to do tonight is to switch the positions between the two, and to ask you if you could make a motion to approve to rehire our old treasurer, Jennifer Lay, to be the temporary treasurer position. And the reason for doing something like that would be to allow her to assist with the preparation of the annual update document for fiscal year 2020. That is ending in May 31st, 2020, and also to assist with payroll, cash receipts, and personnel. In talking to you guys, I know that there's been some discussion about limiting that to a 30-day period without that the board would approve it to. So I'm asking if we would be able to have that run until let's say May 13th, 2020, to have her continue to make the transition between the two. And so first I would like to ask that, and then second I would like to ask for a motion to appoint Jessica McMahon as the full-time appointed treasurer in that position as our full-time treasurer. Is there any discussion?
I make a motion, we accept it.
Okay, so your motion would be to approve to rehire Jennifer Lay for the temporary treasurer position to assist with the preparation of the AUD for fiscal year 2020 payroll, cash receipts, and personnel until May 13th, 2020. Could I get a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Trustee Davis. So Trustee Davis,
Aye.
Trustee Panessa,
Nay.
Trustee Witten,
Aye.
Trustee Huber,
Nay.
Trustee Markojan,
Nay.
Trustee Komornik.
Nay.
Okay. So I will let her know that she's not working here anymore as of tomorrow morning. And next item on the agenda, could I get a motion to approve to appoint Jessica McMahon as the full-time treasurer to fill for the Village of Wappingers Falls?
I'll make it.
Second?
Second.
Seconded by who? Could I get a second?
I believe that was
Second.
Trustee Witten seconded.
Trustee Witten, second.
Correct.
Trustee Davis,
Aye.
Trustee Panessa,
Aye.
Trustee Witten,
Aye.
Trustee Huber,
Aye.
Trustee Markojan,
Aye.
Trustee Komornik.
Aye.
Okay, next item on the agenda is we have in our receipt a letter from Carl Calabrese to resign. And I would like to ask if we could accept his resignation effective April 8th, 2020.
I'll make it.
Second,
I'll second it.
Second.
so I'll take Scott Davis as the second. Scott Davis,
Aye.
Mary Panessa,
Aye.
Kevin Huber,
Aye.
Billy Markojan,
Aye.
Brian Witten,
Aye.
Ronnie Komornik.
Aye.
Okay, and then I would like to ask if we could, if someone would make a motion to approve the, excuse me, I have a, is that in this package?
Yes,
you're-
there's a resolution in there.
While you're looking for that, if may I?
Yep.
I just wanted to just say that, Carl Calabrese has served this village well for the last, I don't know how many years he's been in, but he's done a good job. I've been on the police committee since I came back to the board in 2010, I believe it was, Ronnie. And he's done a really good job, and he will be missed, and really want to just thank him for his service. Him and I always got along very well, very respectful, very polished, and always got me answers very quickly, and we worked well together, and I just wish him well. We'll see what happens with the rest of this tonight, but Carl did a great job for us.
And I agree.
Okay, actually, I have to redo that resolution though. I apologize. So I see that we have a special resolution for that. So I'd like the resolution would read as follows: whereas Carl Calabrese has faithfully and diligently fulfilled the duties of his office as police commissioner of the Village of Wappingers Falls Police Department, and whereas Commissioner Calabrese has served the Village of Wappingers Falls Police Department for 11 years, and whereas Commissioner Calabrese has tendered his resignation effective April 8th, 2020, after 11 years of outstanding service to the Village of Wappingers Falls Police Department, and whereas it is the desire of the mayor and the Village Board of Trustees to honor the commissioner's service and to accept with appreciation his resignation now, therefore be it resolved that the resignation of Carl Calabrese as police commissioner of the Village of Wappingers Falls Police Department effective April 8th, 2020, as per his letter of resignation dated April 7th, is hereby accepted, and be it further resolved that Commissioner Calabrese is hereby commended for his dedicated professional service on behalf of the Village of Wappingers Falls.
Matt, you went mute. You want to go back a couple sentences?
Be it further resolved that Commissioner Calabrese is hereby commended for his dedicated professional service on behalf of the Village of Wappingers Falls, its residents, and the public, and be it further resolved that the mayor and the village board of trustees, for themselves and for all residents of the Village of Wappingers Falls, do hereby express their sincere appreciation for Commissioner Calabrese's service and extend their best wishes, and be it further resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately. And could I again get a motion?
I'll make it.
Second?
Second.
Second.
Seconded by Trustee Witten the last time. So it's Trustee Witten seconding it again, and Trustee Davis.
No, it wasn't that way. I had Ronnie Comormick made the motion, seconded by Scott Davis.
Oh, okay.
Originally, I mean, you can do it any way you want, but that's what I had.
Okay, so this time we'll do it Scott Davis making the motion and Trustee Witten making the second. So Trustee Davis,
Aye.
Trustee Panessa,
Aye.
Trustee Witten,
Aye.
Trustee Huber,
Aye.
Trustee Markajon,
Aye.
Trustee Komornick.
Aye.
Okay, and I would like to thank Carl. I have worked with Carl for a long time, and I found him to be very honorable and a very dedicated employee. And as far as him being commissioner, I will definitely miss the expertise and the dedication that Carl brought to that position, and we will wish him well. So,
I didn't get Trustee Huber on that roll call.
oh, Trustee Huber?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So because we value Commissioner Calabrese's dedication to our force, I would like to ask the board if it would consider creating an additional position of part-time police lieutenant and appointing a part-time police lieutenant to fill the position for the Village of Wappingers Falls Police Department. And this motion would read as follows, whereas...
Mayor, since it involves personnel, I thought we were going to talk about this in the executive session and then come out.
Okay.
The board has to deliberate on police, any personnel hired.
Okay.
That's proper.
Okay, so I would like to ask the board if we could go into executive on this item and as well as on the item of the any other hires that we have listed on this
The rest of the police hires.
the agenda, the rest of the hires, we'll say, on the agenda. Okay, so and that finishes that part of the agenda, and then so the next thing or is there any more discussion on the signs for the pilot program going on List Road?
No, I'm just, I don't know if one of the highway committee trustees can elaborate, but I think we were just waiting for the weather to turn, and that's the last.
He has the signs down there. He's waiting on, I guess we got one piece of property that we can put the sign on. We're waiting on another piece of property that we can put the sign on. The weather is cooperating with us at this moment. He's just waiting on the go-ahead to go where and when you want to do it.
We know we can do the one, and if I can walk the street and find the second location pretty easy. So
If you want to meet up this weekend, Scott, Saturday morning or something,
Fine.
I'll meet up with you. We'll keep our 6 feet distance and we can go to town and I can talk to Pete.
Yep.
Next week.
That's fine. He can do the
All right.
first one on the first location now, and then we'll approve the second one and proceed further. So we'll be all right.
All right. All right. Do
Very
you have a
good.
number for the first one?
Pardon me?
Do you have a house number for the first one?
I have to look it up. I can't remember the house number exactly, but yeah, I have it. I'll give it to you after the meeting.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks.
Okay.
Mayor, was there a formal motion to table those 3 discussions on hires into executive session?
So could I get a formal motion to move all personnel items for hiring into the executive?
I'll make it.
Second,
Second.
all those in favor? Trustee Davis,
Aye.
Trustee Panessa,
Aye.
Trustee Witten,
Aye.
Trustee Huber,
Aye.
Trustee Marco John,
Aye.
Trustee Komornik.
Aye.
Okay, next up is the Police Committee report.
I spoke
You want
to,
me to get that?
yeah, before you read the stats though, I spoke to we had a situation where our order for our masks and wipes and disinfectant was canceled because of the overwhelming crash of the market at the time that COVID-19 started. And thanks to the good folks at BJ's, twice now they've given plenty of supply and product to our first responders. Some of that went to the fire department, and arrangements were made so they could pick up some of it too. So BJ's really came through for us. Great people there, great manager, and couldn't be more thankful to them. But when we needed it and when it counted, they were right there for us. So I spoke to both full-time day personnel yesterday, and they said things are going fine. They have supplies. They just got some other supplies the other day, and we're just doing the best we can with what we got. So just want to make sure everybody knew that, and that BJ's got a shout out because they stepped up for us a couple times, and I see they've been doing a lot of things out in the community. And there was other people that donated wipes and sanitary items, towels, disinfectant. There are a lot of other people that made personal donations to the police department, and we want to thank each one of them, and we will thank them individually for doing that. So just want to make sure everybody was aware of that. That's it.
Okay. So are we going to read the stats though, with everybody's knowledge that these stats happened straddling a month where we started an executive order for COVID-19 starting March 13th, but it is we do read the stats. So John, do you read them?
Yeah, I can read them. Total calls of service, 289. Arrests, 7. Traffic tickets, 68. Sick call-outs, 5. Call-outs other, 11. Call-out shifts not covered, 7. Domestics, 12. Lockouts, 5. Larcenies, 5. Drug complaints, 3. Criminal mischief, 1. Accidents, 16. Assault calls, 1. Burglar alarms, 17. Medicals, 38. Civilian complaints, 0.
Okay, so there's about 100 less calls for service than in March 2019, and there are 200 and 32 less traffic tickets. There's less call outs. So, however, this is, and everything else is pretty similar. Medicals are much lower too. There are 20 less medicals than there were last year. Okay, but we know that this month. It's not easy to make comparisons to last year. Are there any questions? Okay, Scott, do you have anything from the EDC?
No, but I do have a question because they want to meet this month and obviously they can't, so they want to do it video. So is there a way we can make that work, John?
Yeah,
You got the current situation the way it is with all the downtown businesses and, especially the restaurant crew. And there's a lot of people doing a lot of good things out there. And they've actually reached out to those folks for help. By the way, just so everyone knows, the trash cans and the benches are on the way. They're going to get delivered. The highway crew is going to intercept those and we're going to offload them. So they'll be ready to plant when after this craziness disappears. But they would kind of like to meet, and I don't have a problem with it. But
well, I think all they would need to do would be to set up a separate Zoom account.
That's what I was going to suggest.
Yeah.
But
so that's free, and they can go on. I think they're pretty savvy when it comes to that.
Yeah, we can do that. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything else from EDC?
No, we didn't meet in March, so it's just kind of a carryover from February. So we can put that meeting together. Everybody will be fine. Just want to make sure I had the blessing of the board before we did that.
Okay. How about Highway Committee?
I got nothing to report this month.
Brian, you got to unmute yourself again and start over.
I got nothing to report this month. Do you hear me, Mayor?
Not very well. Try it one more time.
So I don't have much to report this month.
Okay, so we'll hold that over and maybe bring that into the end of April meeting.
I have a question, Brian or Kevin. Are they still on the split shift down there?
Yes.
Yes, they have 3 guys do Monday, Wednesday, Friday 1 week, and another 3 guys do Monday, Wednesday, Friday the following week. So the guys that do the 3-day week, they have 2 days off, and the guys that have the 2 days off, 2 days work, they have 3 days work, or 3 days. Saying right? Guys who have the 3-day work week, they have 2 days off. The guys who have the 2 days off or 2-day work week, they have a 3 days off.
Okay.
So
I see they're busy. I see them all over the place. I saw the water department out there today yesterday on my street. So, yeah, they've been all over the place.
So they're working on a 3-man team now. So until further notice, I guess.
Okay. So the next item on the agenda is the Fire Committee.
Yes, Mayor. We had 21 fire calls for the month of March, and getting back on the we talked about last week about the telephone. I'm getting back to you that would come out of the fire budget, since they pay the fire telephones for the firehouses anyways, and there's money out. There's money in there for this.
No money. There's no money. There's no money.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
There would be money.
There's no money in this year's budget. You would have to add it to next year's budget.
Okay,
Is that
next
what
year's budget.
Pardon
Next
me?
year's budget, then yes.
Yeah.
I talked to Jason last week, and I confirmed it again today with them, and I saw him
Okay.
this afternoon. So, and that's it.
Okay. Any questions on fire? How about recreation?
We haven't had a meeting because of the COVID-19. And as you said, camp is canceled due to the county. The county was not issuing any permits. And, I think that's it.
Okay, so I do know I did have a meeting today with the mayors and supervisors, and we did discuss farmers markets, and it looks like there is a way to set up a procedure which might include curbside pickup and early shopping for seniors at a farmers market. So if there's any desire on the part of the board to look at that, they should take a look at that, and that's something that could be done for the farmers market.
I think if we were going to do the farmers market this year, because the gentleman stepped down from it because it was just too much from last year, the recreation committee was looking more towards like September, the fallish, to do it in the fall, just because it's that kind of that time of year. We can get people out still, and it's cooling down, and it's not so hot. And people aren't on vacation, so hopefully be a little busier if we're looking to do it again.
Kind of takes the produce out of it, though, doesn't it?
Well, that's when the produce you think would come in, because of the fall. I mean, late summer, early fall.
Okay, I think that you have time to talk about that though over the summer, right? The spring
Yes.
and the summer. So suffice it to say, it will not be in the spring
Yep.
that you'll be discussing it. So there are guidelines that the county's put out, and Rhinebeck has put together a successful application that was liked by the approving authorities for farmers markets. And especially given the COVID-19 social distancing, that would most likely and in all probability be required still for any kind of a farmers market in the year 2020. So that is something that you should take a look at and put together. Okay, next item. How about the lake?
The lake, the weed to do is in. We put it in on March 27th. We had it out a couple times. Again, I got 4 people interested, but I can't take them out because of the 6-foot rule of the social distancing. So I've been out a couple times. I talked to Brian Murphy, and he's going to go back out on it. So he still has a key, so he don't need my help. And we tried getting some of the trees. We just got to go out there and cut them, and that's where we need the second guy also. We go out there to try to remove the trees out of the lake, bring them to the side so the highway guys can bring them down to the holding station. So it's just this COVID-19 thing is really screwing us up with that part. But I've been out there a few times already. And then also I called We to Do, and the gentleman was supposed to come and help me hook up the sediment sucker. But again, COVID-19 and the 6-foot rule, he wants to wait till things get better for us so we can work together on that also. So he's going to show me how that, when this all clears up. When it does, I don't know, but he said he'd come and help the village.
Okay, any
Good.
questions?
No, sounds good.
Okay, from the water board, I can tell you that we are preparing the USDA application, and we hope to have that submitted before the next monthly meeting in May. We're also waiting for the guidelines from the Environmental Facilities Corporation for the drinking water state revolving fund funding that would come down for a shared municipal grant on the water side as well as the wastewater side. So we have been working on that. Tri-Municipal Commission has been working on meeting together, talking about those issues. Okay, personnel, we're going to move to during executive.
Yep.
The sewer, I talked about a little bit, and the grants we also talked about. We continue to work on closing up some of the grants, although the construction was stopped for the TAP grant that we had in place, as well as the work being done at Franny Reese Park and the boathouse. So all of those items are on hold right now, and we hope to get them back up and running when we get guidance. All right. So are there any items that anybody would like to bring up now before we go into executive?
I have two. We had our MS4 meeting today and they held the elections. And again, this year, I'm elected as chairperson of that Dutchess County Committee. I think it'll be about 6th year in a row, and we're preparing our annual report. I would like to thank the Highway Department for all their input and John Kozak for the inspection work that he's done during the year. Secondly, I'm in receipt of a letter from Cindy Latino, who wanted the board to know that the Wappingers Falls Business Professional Association met, and it's at the end of your packet, if you have the packet, the things that were discussed and that she wanted you to know about.
Well, are these items that we should bring up at this meeting?
I think so.
Okay, do you want to, so is that in the package?
Yes, it's on the last page.
Okay. Okay, good. I didn't see this. All right. So, so the Wappingers Falls Business and Professional Association had a board meeting today, April 8th, 2020, and they have postponed the May clean sweep. It would be in the fall, hopefully. The planters and flowers, they're looking to do the flower program on behalf of the village again. Baskets on the homestead and just 10 planters on East Main Street. So I think this is something that we would have to discuss during the budget. The festival at the falls, they request a change of date to September 12th. And they would like to partner with the village on the COVID-19 response. And so they are collecting, they've already collected contacts information for all businesses in the village. And they are going to be contacting them about information for government funding resources and sharing information about all businesses so that the public can know how they can currently buy products, services, or support them if they are closed. And they are sharing helpful information to our community regarding the many resources available to help unite, stay connected, and support each other in these uncertain times. They've reached out to the Wappingers Historical Society, Grinnell Library, to ask their consideration of creating a storage for an archive of community response to disasters impacting the village. Documents, pictures, videos, etc. would be placed on the zip drive and be available as a resource for the public. And they would like to coordinate with other groups, for example, Wappingers Rises, to collect the information. And if you have any questions or comments for the Business Association or Village Recreation, you can contact Cindy Latino. Are there any questions?
All good.
Okay, anything else before we ask to go into executive session?
No, just stay strong, everybody. Keep moving forward. Let's get through this.
Okay, so the meeting will start up again as soon as we and go back live as soon as we get back on, and it will be recorded without any long pause between. Go ahead.
Before we do, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Mayor, but it's
That's
important. Right. I just thought of it. You want to talk about the election, the village election, because a lot of people probably want to know and don't know what's happened.
Okay, John, do you want to bring up the election?
And they can also know that Trustee Komornick's in my term was supposed to end 2 days ago.
Yeah,
And we're
well,
here till
I've been in
June,
contact with NICOM. They're the ones I really get my direction from, and they do not have any definitive dates at this time. It obviously can't be held the same day they have the primary, so that's out of the question. So it could either be in May, the end of May, or mid-June. But again, I have not received anything definitive about that.
I may add, John, actually, the NICOM has actually recommended that any village election be adjourned to after June 1st. So that is something that NICOM has taken a position on. So it'll have to be at some point in June. A lot of villages have adjourned their elections or postponed their elections to June 16. I don't know what day that falls on, but
Yeah, I saw it on Facebook that it should be June 16th they have posted. So if that's not the correct date, then we should take that down.
June 16 is a Tuesday.
that's
Yeah.
correct.
Again, I have not read anything from NICOM or seen anything from NICOM saying that that's the date.
I'll be looking out and advise the board accordingly, and we'll update our website to inform the public as we get more information.
Sorry to stall the end of the meeting here, or the end of regular session, but just
That's
wanted
all
to,
right, Scott. We'll keep you on through June,
there you go.
July.
Ronnie and I are proud to serve.
Ronnie?
Oh, yeah. Yep. You're right.
Okay, anything else before we take a vote to go into executive?
No, and I shall make the motion. We go into executive session.
To discuss to
Personnel.
discuss the personnel items that were on the agenda for your consideration.
I think a couple of those will be contractual as well.
And so is it also to discuss bargaining unit
Yeah, a little bit of
contracts? Okay,
Yeah, well-
so is there anything else to discuss other than those two items in the executive session?
The one investigation that was on tonight's agenda. to discuss.
Oh, okay, that's right, good. So there's the ongoing code enforcement investigation of a house on South Remsen. Anything else for executive?
Nope.
Okay, so there's the motion.
Second,
We have a motion by Trustee Davis,
second.
second by Trustee Huber. All those in favor, Trustee
Aye.
Davis, Trustee
Aye.
Davis, Trustee Panessa,
Aye.
Trustee Witten,
Aye.
Trustee Huber,
Aye.
Trustee Markajon,
Aye.
Trustee Komornick.
Aye.
Okay, so at this time, we will go into executive session and come back out and be back here after that's over.
The board has entered executive session. Please stand by. The meeting will resume when they return.
Okay, so the board has been in executive session and has discussed the applicant. And we would like to introduce a resolution. The resolution will be worded as such. It's titled Resolution Creating an Additional Position of Part-Time Police Lieutenant and Appointing a Part-Time Police Lieutenant to fill the position for the Village of Wappingers Falls Police Department. Whereas the Village of Wappingers Falls Police Department has been seeking to create and fill the position of an additional part-time police lieutenant and has been recruiting to fill said position with a well-qualified candidate. And whereas the mayor and the village board of trustees is desirous of appointing Carl Calabrese to fill the position of part-time police lieutenant at the hourly rate of $35, effective with the payroll period commencing April 11th, 2020, or as soon as thereafter as practicable, subject to approval by the Dutchess County Department of Human Resources. And whereas Carl Calabrese possesses all the necessary skills and qualifications to serve as part-time police lieutenant with the Village of Wappingers Falls Police Department, and whereas the funds for compensation have been provided in the 2020 budget, now therefore be it resolved that the mayor and the Village Board of Trustees of the Village of Wappingers Falls hereby creates an additional position of part-time police lieutenant and appoints Carl Calabrese to the position at an hourly rate of pay of $35 effective with the payroll period commencing April 11th, 2020, or as soon thereafter as practicable, subject to approval by the Dutchess County Department of Human Resources, and be it further resolved that the mayor or his designee be and are hereby authorized and directed to take all actions necessary to give full effect to this resolution, and be it further resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately. And for that resolution, may I have a motion?
I'll make it.
So a motion from trustee Komornick, second.
Second.
Second from trustee Witten. Trustee Davis,
Aye.
trustee Huber,
Aye.
trustee Markajon,
Aye.
trustee Komornick,
Aye.
trustee Panessa,
Aye.
trustee Witten.
Aye.
Okay, and so the next item that we discussed is a resolution appointing a resolution appointing a part-time police officer for the Village of Wappingers Falls Police Department. And Scott, would you give me the name of the person from the...
I don't know if he heard you because you're echoing back.
No, it's this. Hold on one second. So I'm going to do the other one first. It's on the prior.
Agenda?
Yep.
I'll look at it. You can go on.
Okay, so the next item on the agenda is I would like to appoint as mayor,
This mayor.
as
Oh,
mayor,
I got you.
as mayor, I would like to appoint a police commissioner, Walter Burke, and I would like to ask the board if they could put forth the following resolution that would say, whereas the position of police commissioner of the Village of Wappingers Falls Police Department is currently vacant due to the resignation of the former police commissioner, and whereas the mayor and the Village Board of Trustees desire to fill the position of police commissioner, and whereas the mayor and the village board has determined that Walter Burke has demonstrated possession of the necessary education, skills, training, and experience to effectively fulfill the duties of police commissioner, and whereas the mayor and the village board agrees to appoint Walter Burke to the position of police commissioner on the following terms and conditions. The effective date is April 11th, 2020. The police commissioner's appointment is at will and may be terminated at any time for any reason. The annual salary for the position of police commissioner shall be $47,400. Said salary will be payable in equal weekly installments and shall run concurrently with the Village of Wappingers Falls employee payroll. Salary shall be subject to withholdings and other applicable taxes. The police commissioner will work a minimum of 20 hours per week. There shall be no maximum number of hours of work per week. The police commissioner is not entitled to earn, accrue, or be paid for overtime or compensatory time. Such work may be conducted either at the police headquarters or at a remote location suited for such administrative duties. Training, meetings, and other job-related assignments may be included in his 20-hour minimum. The police commissioner will be available for callback or contact during any hours which he is not regularly employed at his full-time place of employment unless he has notified the police dispatcher, other supervisory staff, and the village clerk that he is on scheduled leave for vacation, personal time, or is on sick leave. This schedule may include weekends and holidays. The police commissioner will be provided with an office at police headquarters suitable to hold private counseling sessions, maintain administrative paperwork, and security of administrative files. Such office will have, at minimum, a desk, chair, and computer. Standard office equipment will be provided through the police budget. The police commissioner will be issued a cell phone to be paid by the village to conduct police business and maintains communications with, but not limited to, the department, employees, and members of village government. The police commissioner will be provided with a laptop computer to include all necessary software relative to his duties, to include any air card or wireless device to remotely access the police department computer system. This computer and associated software is the property of the village and must be returned to the village upon termination of contract. The police commissioner will be assigned a designated portable police radio for contact and communications with the police dispatcher and other police units. The police commissioner shall report directly to the mayor. For the purpose of this section, benefit time shall include personal time, vacation time, and sick leave. For the purpose of this section, a leave or sick day shall be determined to be one full calendar day, 24-hour period, unless otherwise indicated as less by the mayor. Note that this contradicts the all leave time will be taken consistent with the relevant provision in the village PBA collective bargaining agreement, except that references to the police commissioner shall be replaced by the mayor. Personal leave equals 3 days, vacation leave equals 5 weeks and 2 days, sick leave equals 1 week. Personal leave, vacation leave, and sick leave are computed on a 20-hour week. 4 hours equals 1 day. Absent
Mayor, I would just point out that up above the one, the 24-hour period would actually be a 4-hour period because the 4 hours equals 1 day. So I would point that out to you and the rest of the board.
Okay.
I'm going to I'll have to clean that up, after this meeting. But note that for your potential motion.
Okay. So no, personal leave, vacation leave, and sick leave are computed on a 20-hour week. 4 hours equals 1 day, correct?
Yeah.
Absent catastrophic injury or illness, no more than 2 consecutive weeks of any or all types of leave may be taken. The police commissioner shall be afforded up to 6 weeks of unused benefit time to be reimbursed in the last pay period in May. There will be no accrual or carryover of unused leave time from fiscal year to fiscal year. The police commissioner shall maintain a commissioner's log. This shall document total number of actual work hours of the police commissioner, or if the police commissioner takes leave time, the type and duration of the leave. Such log shall be maintained by the commissioner with a copy filed weekly with the village clerk. The police commissioner shall submit a timesheet not to exceed 20 hours per week directly to the village treasurer, along with the departmental time records for payroll. The police commissioner will be provided the following items: a police badge, a duty holster, 1 plainclothes style holster, 1 pepper spray, 1 set of handcuffs, 1 handcuff case, 1 department issued duty firearm, 3 magazines, 1 magazine pouch, and various sundry items. Such items shall be provided for by voucher as a one-time initial outfit. In addition, the police commissioner will be provided with a total of $800 for administrative plainclothes, business attire, and upkeep payable on the first pay period in June. Additional items as needed to apprehend or assist with apprehension in the course of performing police duties. There will be no health benefits provided. This resolution sets forth all of the terms and conditions of employment for the police commissioner, and it would be therefore resolved that the mayor and the village board hereby appoints Walter Burke to this position of police commissioner on the terms and conditions above noted. So for that resolution, may I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second? Seconded by trustee Witten. Trustee Davis?
Aye.
Trustee Markajon?
Aye.
Trustee Huber?
Aye.
Trustee Komornick?
Aye.
Trustee Panessa?
Aye.
Trustee Witten?
Aye.
Okay, so thank you for that. And I would like to tell everyone that, you know, with Walter, we found somebody who is very calm, cool, and collected, and he has the respect of everyone who's worked with him. He has worked for the village before, and we would like to warmly welcome him to the village of Wappingers Falls.
Consummate professional. What a good guy. Should do real well there.
Mayor, just suggest one thing. The resignation of now Lieutenant Calabrese was effective today. So I think that you should appoint him as interim acting until April 11th, which is the start of the pay period for Walter.
So appoint Carl Calabrese?
As acting commissioner until Walter's term commences.
Okay, so I would like to ask the board if we could get a motion to appoint Carl Calabrese as interim acting commissioner until Walter Burke takes on the duties as police commissioner.
I'll make it.
Second? Seconded by trustee Davis. Trustee Davis?
Aye.
Trustee Huber?
Aye.
Trustee Markajon?
Aye.
Trustee Komornick?
Aye.
Trustee Panessa?
Aye.
Trustee Witten?
Aye.
Okay, the next item we have on the agenda
I can make the motion for the part-timer.
okay, there's a resolution written.
Okay.
John, do you have the resolution? Or is John gone?
It's resolution. Do you have it? It's 12
I have it, yeah. It's just
20 of 20.
Yep. Okay, so there's another resolution. The following resolution would include, if motioned, whereas the Village of Wappingers Falls Police Department has been seeking to create and fill the position of an additional part-time Whereas the Village of Wappingers Falls Police Department has been seeking to fill the position of a part-time police officer and has been recruiting actively to fill said position with a well-qualified candidate. And whereas the mayor and the Village Board of Trustees has received a request to appoint Denisha Williams effective April 8th, 2020, or as soon as thereafter practicable as a part-time police officer pursuant to the terms and conditions set forth in the current PBA collective bargaining agreement and further subject to the satisfactory completion of background and pre-employment screening and approval by the Dutchess County Department of Human Resources. And whereas Denisha Williams possesses all the necessary skills and qualifications to serve as a part-time police officer with the Village of Wappingers Falls Police Department, And whereas the funds for compensation have been provided in the 2020 budget, now therefore be it resolved, the Board of the Village of Wappingers Falls hereby appoints Denisha Williams as a part-time police officer effective April 8th, 2020, subject to the terms set forth herein. And be it further resolved that the mayor or his authorized designee be and are hereby authorized and directed to take all actions necessary and convenient to give full effect to this resolution. Be it further resolved that this resolution take effect immediately. May I have a motion?
I'll make it.
Second?
Second.
Seconded by trustee Panessa, trustee Davis,
Aye.
trustee Huber,
Aye.
trustee Markajon,
Aye.
trustee Komornick,
Aye.
trustee Panessa,
Aye.
trustee Witten.
Aye.
Okay, and that, I believe, is everything on our agenda. Yes, so could I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make it.
Second?
Second.
Seconded by trustee Panessa. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, good night, and we'll be in touch about the budget meetings.
Thanks, Mayor.
Okay.
Good night.
Bye, everybody. Stay tough.
Bye.
Yeah.